Mic check, mic check. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Can I be heard? If I can be heard, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. If I can be heard, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. All praise to the Most High, the Creator of heaven and earth, the owner, possessor of all there is. Forever live Yahshua Mashiach, the Messiah. All praise. Nazarene edition, part 73. The Creator is the author of good, not evil. Oh, wait, somebody gonna be mad. You know what it is when you hit a spirit, boy. You can say something so righteous but so powerful, and yeah, boy, that mean that spirit just got hit. That mean that spirit just got hit. Just got jarred. All praise and glory now. Abundant blessings to the house of NehemiYAH. Bless up.
Bless up.
All praise and glory now to the Most High. How y'all doing in the building? Let me shout the chat out real quick. Got a couple of Yahoos. NehemiYAH, talk to me. Y'all got anything been going, brother?
Oh, everything going good, brother. Sitting back, resting, relaxing. Got a phone call from mom this morning about 5 in the morning. Rolled over and answered. I missed the call right back. She wasn't feeling too well. She asked me to call the nursing home and get them to send her to the hospital. Oh, so she's at the hospital now. She just got the phone before we went live.
Mm-hmm.
So she's talking. She's she's talking. She's coherent or whatever. But yeah, just something else to go through and get the victory over.
You hear me? It's what it is. Life is war. She's definitely in our prayers, though, brother. Believe that. And know that.
But then she said she love y'all too. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tasha Archie in the building. Bless up. Bless up. Got the oracle in the look at the oracle. The oracle in the building. I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on, my beloved sister? Bless up. Fresno P in the building. That's my partner right there. Sean Dunn. Fresno P in the building. Boy, you going back about 25 years. That bless up. Bless up. MELCHIZEDEK Long. What's going on, my beloved brother? Shalom to you. NehemiYAH, my Barak, my beloved brother. Bless up. You my Robbie Dobson. How y'all, Yeshaya ben Israel, my dirty South brethren. Bless up. Good to see y'all in the building. NehemiYAH, most definitely. Prayers of well-being, comfort, healing, and peace of mind, body, and spirit, from the Almighty Creator into your mother. You know what I mean? All praises. She definitely in our prayers. And look, and that's worldwide. All plagues, all warfare, all hatreds, all poverty, we come against it with the opposite vibration and invoking the name of the Creator. You dig? All praises, glory, and honor. What else you got going on, NehemiYAH? Talk to me.
Other than that, man, make sure we keep our other people who prayed up. Some of my people, Renee, she had lost her father a couple of weeks ago, and a few other people got some family members that's sick and shut in.
Absolutely.
Just pray for our journey through this captivity, man. That's the main thing. Cause this right here, I was talking to Mallory. I just sit back and look at stuff, man. Our people been worked on, boy. Our people have grown so comfortable with whorish culture, idol worship, paganism, everything that's anti the Most High and Messiah. We are in love with full body. Full body in love with wickedness. One of the young brews hit up this morning like, man, I'm just sitting there tripping off all the adultery we out here. Like, you got some men that's out here with cool trying to, like, their purpose is to go push on another man, woman. He's like, man, bro, they mindset. And there's women here who definitely got the mindset to push on another woman's husband. Now, if she ain't married, I can't call it a sin. You know what I'm saying? But we also know a lot of people don't know what marriage is. So, yeah, just get this in your head. It ain't that piece of paper, y'all.
Absolutely.
It ain't that piece of paper.
All right, y'all see what I got up on the screen? Absolutely, y'all. Y'all see what I got up on the screen? The Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, the recognition of Clement, the preaching of Peter, the ascension of James, excerpts from the Clementine homilies, and the Sinai Arabic summary from the Journal of T. Flavius Clement, the True Names Translation. Some of y'all got this book, called the Acts, the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. All right. Shalom, shalom, all praises. So you see what's going on. Matter of fact, to get started, we about to jump on down to page 94, I think it is. Let me go ahead and do it the other way like this. Okay, it's going off, Nehemiah. Going off. Let me search for it over here on the side. That's the side bar of taste. Here it is, right here. Bang.
This one way.
I got it right here. All right, then we're going to hide that right there. And let's get into it. Let's get into it.
See, nothing but a conversation.
Nothing but a conversation, big bro. That's what I've been finding out. A lot of people don't want to have a conversation. And that's the case.
They acknowledge that it should have been one.
That's the case. I ain't even mad at you. It's just your spirit ain't ready to accept higher truth, brother. It's all good. You dig? You just know when it's time to have that conversation, we still got to have it. Whether we have it now or whether we have it later, it still got to get had, don't it? Still got to get had. We still got to, because our duty is to raise each other up. So if somebody is going in the way of ascension and somebody is going in the way opposite of that, regardless, we got to have a conversation. It may be me that's going opposite of ascension. You still got to, your job is to raise me up, get me in order.
If love is there.
You know what I mean? That's your job. It ain't to hide. And that's one thing I've noticed. It's all quiet. Everybody not hiding, but ain't trying to have a convo. That just let me know where you at. All right. That's what's up. You did. But be real with yourself, though, right? Never front. Hold on. What old boy saying, Belly? Hold on. Don't you ever. Don't you ever come to me scary. I'm the toughest, roughest. He said, "What, you scared? Because you did. Hold on. Don't you ever come to me with scared business." Yeah. You did.
They was in there watching football.
Yeah. So just let that be. Now ain't no scared business. But whenever a conversation is to be had, let's have it. All right. So we in the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, bless up. And let's get into this. All right. More first century documentation of what we're talking about here. All right. For y'all, contrary to popular belief, everything about the movement of the Messiah was not voted or agreed upon to make it into the New Testament. The New Testament is a body of work that was agreed upon. That was agreed upon by men that weren't even your people. You understand? Not saying don't read out of it. I ain't, of course I ain't saying that, but there are many writings out here. You understand? Many messianic writings out here that, follow the master teacher, the ascended master teacher, Yahshua, the mighty Messiah. You dig? This right here, it says Nazarene, so it's a different perspective than your Western Christianity as stipulated by Paul. It's different. You understand? It's different. Paul wasn't in agreement with the disciples. And, the chief bishop that was over the movement, actually, after the Messiah died, was his biological brother, James the Just. Paul's understanding of the Gentiles and dietary restrictions and all that was different. Even, the whole viewpoint of Messiah and who is he and all that was different. And how you know it's different, because many so-called theologians today will tell you that Paul, who never met Messiah, knew him better than James, his actual brother, who knew him better than the actual disciples who walked with him, talked with him, laughed with him, hugged him, learned from him. You see what I'm saying? So what you've been passed is Rome's version of the Messianic movement that went down first century Palestine 2,000 years ago. You feel me? And a lot of this is a lot of research too. There's a lot of, combing through a lot of, different records and all that. But the payoff is so beautiful. All right. So what we doing right here, we in the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. We on page 94. And the brother Peter, the brother K5, peace to the God. Look at my Kador, Kevin Lewis in the building. Bless up, King. All right. So a lot of y'all don't know that Peter's battles, you know, his whole ministry for the most part was documented. And when I say ministry, I'm talking about what he was doing after the ascension of our master teacher, Yahshua. That was documented. It's documented in Clement. Any of y'all ever heard of Clement? He's mentioned in the Bible a few times. But Clement learned from Peter. He learned from Cephas, Shimon Cephas, Peter, Simon Peter. That's who he learned from. All right. Clement actually was a Gentile, though. He was a Gentile. All right. But he had to be initiated into the Nazarene way. You understand? And they got their whole reserve of doctrine and preservation of doctrine and all that. So, you know, we can read that again one day, but that ain't what we're dealing with. This right here is about Peter, who you read as K5 in here, going against Simon Magus or Simon the magician. You read about Acts the 8th chapter. Peter had a long career of banging against this cat. Very, very long. In Acts the 8th chapter, it doesn't know justice because you really don't know all the details. You dig? But this is one time where Peter runs up on Simon Magus. Y'all can Wikipedia this guy if you don't know him. Or Simon the magician. All right, you read about him in Acts the 8th chapter. Peter ran up on him in one of these spots on his way to Rome. And every time they bumped into each other, it was a showdown in front of everybody about whose intellect, whose understanding of spiritual matters, whose understanding of the heavens and salvation, and you know how to worship the Creator, whose understanding is more superior than the other. Now, your boy Simon Magus is more on the agnostic or more on the atheist, you know, side or whatever. You know what I mean? Or we all know what side Peter is rolling with, messianic to the bone gristle, right? So this right here is common principles. It says, then Shimon, this is talking about Simon Magus. On what subject do you wish the discussion to be held? Tell me that I also may define what I think, and so the inquiry may begin. And Cephas Peter, and Cephas answered, if indeed you will do as I think right, I would have it done according to the precept of my master, who first of all commanded the Hebrew tribe, whom he knew to have knowledge of the Creator. You see that? Knowledge of, that's the Creator's name right there. All right. See if I can get some highlighting. I can't. Cool. Highlight this whole thing. So he's saying, Peter's saying, my master, and this is after the ascension of our master teacher, right? Cephas or Peter is saying that our master taught that we must have knowledge of the Creator, and that it is he who made the world. Not that they should inquire about him whom they knew, but that knowing him, they should investigate his will and his righteousness. See, we're supposed to be investigating the will and the righteousness of the Almighty. Absolutely. Because it is placed in men's power that searching into these things they may find and do and observe those things concerning that they are to be judged. Right. Right. Everybody got to sit on their own bottom, right? Natasha Archie, bless up, my beloved sister. Abundant blessings from the highest heaven. Right on for the super chat. Bless up. But every tub got to sit on his own bottom. Everybody's accountable. Messiah told you go and sin no more. Right? Now, how many of us running around here can openly profess that since we came into the knowledge or been enlightened that we have willfully sinned before? Willfully. Uh-huh. Yeah. Shit. Look, if you find the brother or sister that ain't, I got a bridge in East St. Louis to sell you. Huh? So what I'm saying is, even according to Hebrews 10:26, after you sin willfully, there remains no more sacrifice for sins. See? At some point, you want to take responsibility for the crimes that you are doing against the Almighty. Even 1 John 3, verse 8 through 9 goes into he that has the seed of the Most High in him can't sin. See, these are questions that we must be asking ourselves. Am I really a child of the Creator?
Am I?
You feel me? Have I willfully sinned since I've been enlightened? And 10 times out of 10, y'all, the answer to that is yeah. But that's why the Messiah always came and said, look, go and sin no more unless something worse happened to you. I forgive you. You are healed. Go and sin no more. Where are your accusers? They ain't here, neither do I accuse you. You see, because there comes a point to where you have to take your master's testimony. You have to take that, you feel me, and become responsible with it. We was never supposed to use his testimony as a get out of jail free card. Now, a true master teacher teaches you how to become a master. Raise up, master yourself. You feel me? So every tug got to sit on his own bottom, and that makes sense. So what we read, it says, if indeed, I'm gonna start at the top of the highlighted portion. If indeed you would do as I think right, I would have it done according to the precept of my master, who is YHWH'S, right? Who first of all commanded the Hebrew tribe, whom he knew to have foreknowledge or have knowledge of the Creator, and that it is he who made the world, not that they should inquire about him, whom they knew, but that knowing him, they should investigate his will and his righteousness, because it is placed in men's power that searching into these things, they may find and do and observe those things concerning, look at this, Nehemiah, that they are to be judged. You see that? He let you know you have to take responsibility with your own salvation. I thought the Bible said work out your own salvation. Don't it say that? All right, so that means you got to have a responsibility, brothers and sisters. You got a responsibility. You have the examples right in front of you. You have the example in Yahshua Mashiach.
This one knows at that point is no excuse.
You understand?
So accountability has to be
right. Accountability is what it is. Accountability and responsibility. And look, you're breathing. You got, look, all praise to the Most High for another day to get it right. Yes, we want to thank the Almighty for his mercy and that he has discretion and all that. But don't take that like he just some chump that you can just, sneeze at a slap fire out of. No, the Creator is the Creator, the owner, possessor of all. All right. But he's calling us as his sons and daughters to be accountable. All right. Therefore, he commanded us to inquire not whence evil comes, as you asked just now, because Simon the sorcerer was asking, where does evil come from? He said, therefore, he commanded us to inquire not whence evil cometh, as you asked just now, but to seek the righteousness of the Creator, Yahweh, and his kingdom. And all these things, says he, will be added to you. Script, right? So this is Peter quoting what you read in Matthew, the 6th chapter, right? Then Shimon said, since these things are commanded to the Hebrews as having a right knowledge of Yahweh, Yahweh, and being of opinion that everyone has it in his power to do these things concerning that he is to be judged, but my opinion differs from theirs. Where do you wish me to begin? All right. It's about to go down, y'all. This right here is a 2,000-year-old battle. A battle of spirit, a battle of spiritual wits, a battle of spiritual power, a battle for the truth. And this was going on right in front of everybody. We do it the old school way.
Going down.
You do it right in front of everybody. That way it don't be no mumble mouthing, right? Now watch this. Freedom of the will. Freedom of the will. All praise, glory, and honor to the Most High. Bless up, bless up. I see y'all in the building. All right, all praise. All praise, glory, and honor. All right, freedom of the will. Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. Page 94. All right. Then said Kepha, I advise that the first inquiry be whether it is in our power to know where we are to be judged, whence we are to be judged. Read it again. Then said Kepha, Peter, I advise that the first inquiry be whether it is in our power to know whence we are to be judged. But Simon, right. You see what Peter wanted to dialogue or debate about, right? So with judgment and when. But Simon the sorcerer said, not so, but concerning the Creator, about whom all who are present are desirous to hear. Then Kepha, You admit then, hold on. You admit then that something is in the power of the will. Uh-oh. Hold on. Simon said, I don't want to talk about that. I only want to talk about concerning the Creator, about whom all who are present or desirous to hear. Peter responds, you admit then that something is in the power of the will. Only confess this if it is so, and let us inquire as you say concerning Yahweh. To this Shimon answered, by no means. Then Kepha said. So Peter, confess. There, you got power. You got a power of choice or freedom of will. You got willpower, right? If it is so, and let us inquire as you say concerning the Most High. To this Shimon answered, by no means. I'm cool. I don't want to talk about personal will. You feel me? Or free will or power to choose. Then Kepha said, if then nothing is in our power, it is useless for us to inquire anything concerning the Most High, since it is not in the power of those who seek to find. Hence I said, well, that this should be the first inquiry, whether anything is in the power of the will. Tell me you understood that, Nehemiah.
I get it.
Break it down. Oh, wait.
So
he set him up. You keep how he set him up.
As a man thinketh, so shall he be. Mm-hmm. So if it doesn't have a display of power in your will, then it's not concerning the Most High. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because your willpower is going to cause you to fall wherever you fall in his judgment. It's your willpower.
Uh-huh.
You have the power to decide to go left or right, frontwards or backwards, climb up or crawl down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got the power in your will to, like we did, stop eating meat. Stop eating pork for some before that. Stop keeping pagan holidays. But if you saying ain't no power in the will, then God can't judge you for nothing because you on automatic robotic mode.
You're on robotic mode. Look, that's an excellent point. Look what he just said. He said, if then nothing is in our power, it is useless for us to inquire anything concerning the Most High. Since it is not in the power of those who seek to find. You know what I mean? There ain't no such thing as you having no power to seek, because you can't find anyway, right?
Right.
You on automatic robot mode, like you just said.
Yeah, and at that point you can't blame nothing. Blame can't be laid to stuff that you have no power on.
No type of claim can be laid.
Like
no type of charge laid against you.
Like your pedophile is trying to say it's natural for them to have a certain lust toward, but no, man, that's in you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's automatic with you. It should be automatic with every human.
All right.
And it's not.
It's not. All right.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just like those things that we do against our God is not a part of the. In order for something to be unique or to be considered everybody, it'd be like us all having lungs. Can't blame the Most High for that. That's automatic. We breathe.
Right, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Got
Heartbeat, pulse.
Got you. Got you.
Internal functions. Them are automatic. And don't inquire, you ain't got no power with those.
Watch this. Then said Simon, we cannot even understand this that you say, if there is anything in the power of the will. But Kepha, which is Peter, seeing that Simon was turning to contention, and through fear of being overcome, was confounding all things as being in general uncertain, answered, how then do you know that it is not in the power of man to know anything, since this very thing at least you know? Wait. If y'all get some understanding, give us a 9 up in the chat. Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. The showdown between Peter the Apostle and Simon Magus, who you find in Acts the 8th chapter. Peter want to talk about free will, power to choose. Simon the sorcerer don't even want to talk about that. Just the Almighty only. Peter doubles back and say, well, that's useless to talk about him if we don't got the power to choose, since he who goes out on a search will never find. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. Responsibility. And then Peter ends. How then do you know that it is not in the power of man to know anything? Since this very thing at least you know. Responsibility. That's what we've been talking about lately, Anthony. Accountability. Responsibility. All right. Then Simon said, look at that. Then Simon said, I know not whether I know even this. For everyone according as it is decreed to him by fate, either does or understands or suffers. Okay, if I said, see my brothers, into what absurdities Shimon has fallen, who before my coming was teaching that men have it in their power to be wise and to do what they will. There go the willpower. But now, driven into a corner by the force of my arguments, he denies that man has any power.
He faded.
You say what?
He called it faded. When you read it, it was about fate.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. He said right here, he say, who before my coming was teaching that men have it in their power to be wise and to do what they will, but now driven into a corner by the force of my arguments, he denies that man has any power either of perceiving or of acting. And yet he presumes to profess himself to be a teacher.
Why teach? If everything is faded, why teach?
Right, exactly. What's the point? What's the point of teaching is everything is just, that's your fate. You was born to be, you was born to have an itchy trigger finger, Charles. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do.
You was faded, little Willie. Catch that late fade.
Yeah, come on. All right. Now look at this. But tell me how then the Creator judges according to truth, everyone for his doings, if men have it not in their own power to do anything. If this opinion be held, if this opinion he held, all things are torn up by the roots. Vain will be the desire of following after goodness. Yea, even in vain do the Shoftim, the judges of the world, administer laws and punish who do amiss. For they had it not in their power not to sin. Vain also will be the laws of tribes that assign penalties to evil deeds. Miserable also will those be who laboriously keep righteousness. But blessed those who living in pleasure, exercise tyranny, living in luxury and immorality. According to this, therefore, there can be neither righteousness nor goodness, nor any virtue, nor as you would have it, any God. But old Shimon, I know why you have spoken thus. Peter then brought the hammer out, boy. Truly because you wish to avoid inquiry. He said you ducking. You want to be questioned. You don't want to get in that hot seat. Not like some of us who call for fades. Who call them to the mat, right?
Bring them out.
He said, I know why you have spoken this, truly because you wish to avoid inquiry, lest you should be openly confuted. And therefore you say that it is not in the power of man to perceive or to discern anything. But if this had really been your opinion, you would not surely before my coming have professed yourself before the people to be a teacher. I say therefore that man is under his own control. I say therefore that man is under his own control. Shame. Responsibility, huh? Yeah, you're responsible for the crimes that we all are responsible for the crimes we've done against the Creator. Absolutely.
Say who made a good point. Because you're supposed to be a magician. You had to learn that. You wasn't faded that. You wasn't
right
on auto mode a magician.
Right.
You was taught that.
Right. You had to be raised up and taught that. Comes with a certain knowledge, huh? You feel me? All right, look at this. I say, therefore, that man is under his own control. Then said Shimon, what is the meaning of being under his own control? Tell us to this Kepha. If nothing can be learned, why do you wish to hear? Oh, that's cold. You see how he hit him with a dagger, boy? He hit him with a dagger, yeah. Look, because you have no power to learn, right?
That's what you're trying to hear.
You have no power to search, right? That was cold. You know, he played chess with him. Then said Simon, what is the meaning of being under his own control? Tell us. To this Kepha, Peter, if nothing can be learned, why do you wish to hear? And Simon said, you have nothing to answer this. And y'all remind y'all. Yeah, but
your argument is I can't learn shit.
But mind you, this is going down in front of the whole entire crowd.
It's funny why you see in scriptures. Don't go to war with your brother before non-believers and the law. I bet. I bet. I bet. I bet. Because this happens.
You be openly confuted and shut down. Oh, wait.
So you protect his butt by doing this. Okay.
Hold on. Let me take this wisdom color off. Make sure y'all can see. Give me a second. All right, bye. All right, right back. Right back. Yeah, that's a good point there, bye. All right, bang, right back. All right, page. That's what we just did. Responsibility. Now we at the bottom of page 95. The origin of evil. Give me a 4 up in the chat. 4 for the tribe if y'all get some understanding. Every man up under his own control. You're going to take responsibility. Every man and woman has to take responsibility and accountability for the crimes you've done against the Almighty. It tell you right there in the Bible, Hebrews 10:26, for he who have sinned willfully after he's received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. Now, that don't mean you can't be forgiven. Some people teach that you're damned. No. It's simply going into how true forgiveness comes through repentance, turning away from what you're doing wrong, and amendment, changing your ways. And through prayer and, supplication, you feel me? You get back in good graces with the Almighty. But one thing you're not about to do is use the Messiah's death as a get out of jail free card. That's what the Messianic brothers are doing, like our forefathers did with the animals back in the day. You just use the Messiah's death as if you are good. And every one of the brothers and sisters have sinned willfully since they've been enlightened, period. And what do I mean by, I'm not even going to play on words. Willful. Well, willful may only mean, no, we ain't even going to play. Meaning you calculated in your mind to go off. You knew you was going off. You calculated it.
You made a plan.
You had it down to it.
That boy had a blueprint.
You had it down to the.
So you're going to break the door right here. So the 3-second timer, when the camera rotates to the right, you run left. You be at the guard station. What? Oh, Matrix. Remember Trinity was going there to the power factory? Right. The whole place. We got to shut down the levels.
Yeah. She was like, I'm going to bring the whole building down in a second. You already know. You planned the wickedness.
You do.
You see that?
And you go deal with another man's wife, finances, house, his, man, bro. Oh, God, bro. You actually mentally run it before you physically manifest it.
Yeah. So again, if it's mentally been ran and then it physically manifests into action, then that's willful. Back to the word willful. The power or the will, you made a conscious decision to go against what you know is right. Every man and woman that's been in this, what we call enlightenment or the truth, has done that since they've been enlightened. Absolutely. And if somebody's saying they ain't, get them on. We call them to the mat right now.
I'm perfect.
We call them to the mat right now. You see that? Back to the responsibility. You have to, at some point, you got to come up off the training wheels. Don't you? Don't eventually you got to be able to ride a bike without training wheels. Don't eventually you got to have a license and not a permit. Don't eventually you got to stand up and not crawl but walk and then run. Don't eventually you got to raise up. Correct?
Those are some couple of good analogies there.
It's the same thing dealing with being messianic or following the Messiah. Every tub sits on its own bottom. You're not about to play. All right? Origin of evil. Then said Kepha, I will speak not as under compulsion from you, but at the request of the hearers. The power of choice is the sense of the spirit. I like that. What you think, NehemiYAH? The power of choice is the sense of the spirit.
And with that sense meaning that I look at it, whether you moving in a righteous sense or unrighteous sense, it's a spirit. Which spirit are you under the unction of?
Yeah, because we all spirits actually. You dig?
Or energy.
We're in this capsule or this jail called these suits right now, this flesh. But you're right. Spirit or energy attracts or repels more spirit or energy.
Absolutely.
So basically, what frequency you operating at, cuz?
Gigahertz, baby. Gigahertz, baby. Not megahertz, we on gigahertz.
You know what I mean? Now look at this. The power of choice is the sense of the spirit possessing a quality by which it can be inclined towards what acts it wills. We keep running into this willpower, Nehemiah. This will.
It's just the same thing we said, but more elegantly put.
Mm-hmm.
The sense of the spirit that you manifest will be determined by the act of your will.
Yeah. See, your mind is very, very powerful.
Oui.
Our minds are very. That's why that's where you get willpower from. Or you hear today free will. They don't want you to really know it's a power. There's a power behind, your mental and your mental projection. You understand? That's why it's power in prayer. It's power and a science and a knowledge behind it. You see what I'm saying? So this is very powerful because as we slow down, we keep running into this will. Whether it's Hebrew 10 and 26 about willful sinning, right? Or the will or the power to search a thing, the will or power to learn something, the will or power to educate, the will or power. The power of choice is the sense of the spirit, possessing a quality by which it can be inclined towards what acts it wills. That's powerful. All right. To remind you, we talking about the origin of evil. Now watch this. Watch this. So I know a lot of our people are under the vibration that the Most High is evil or he creates evil. All right. Then Shimon applauding Kepha for what he had spoken, said, truly you have expounded it magnificently and incomparably, for it is my duty to bear testimony to your speaking well. Now, if you will explain to me this that I now ask you, and all things else I will submit to you. What I wish to learn then is this: if what God wishes to be is, and what he does not wish to be is not, answer me this. Then Kepha, if you do not know that you are asking an absurd and incompetent question, I will pardon you and explain. But if you are aware that you are asking inconsequently, you do not well. Then Simon said, I swear by the supreme divinity. It's supposed to be an atheist, cuz. They're supposed to be an atheist. So Peter come right out and say, come on, man, I know you're not stupid. You smarter than that. Come on, cuz. Come on. Come on. Right? If you do not know that you are asking an absurd and incompetent question, I will pardon, I will excuse you and explain. Boy, you don't know how stupid that question is. And if you don't know it's stupid, I'm going to go ahead and explain to you. All right? Then he say, but if you are aware that you are asking inconsequently, you do not well. Then Simon said, I swear by the supreme divinity, whatsoever that may be, which judges and punishes those who sin, that I know not what I have said inconsequently, or what absurdity there is in my words, that is in those that I have just uttered. Y'all see how it's going down, boy? It's going down now. Y'all, you always got to watch out for the false humility too. Because a lot of times you got to watch out for the deflection. You got to watch out for the false humility. And then you got to watch out for the fake of fallout. The fake of fallout. Oh, so you ain't just listening. See, I'm leaving. Bye. Nah. It done got too hot up in that kitchen, boy. Nah, man. In the building, bless up. YAH'S in the building, bless up. Marcus Israel in the building, bless up. Mikael, the battle axe, Agdino. Bless up, King, bless up. Finesse, my beloved sister, New York City. Latrey, my beloved brother, bless up. The dreaded writer, Akshim Shon, brethren. Bless up, brother MINISTRIES, beloved sister, bless up. Jehu, I see you in the building, bless up. Shemayim Batyah, bless up. Watchman Baruch, shalom, bless up. Joseph Evans, bless up, King. Harel, I see y'all in the building, bless up. All right, Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, page 96. The chapter we are in now is the Most High, the author of good, not of evil. He made a whole bunch of mumble mouth Negroes mad last year, didn't he, boy? Niggas say, well, who planted the tree of knowledge of good and evil? If the Most High don't create evil. I said, dang, boy, they got our hook, line, and sinker, cuz this is crazy. And straight up mad because you don't want to submit to the understanding of the Most High creating evil and being evil and doing evil.
Or tempted you with evil.
Right. There's judgment. No, nobody's saying there's not judgment. You understand? But last I read, his judgment was righteous.
And true.
And true. All right. Yahweh, the author of good, not evil. To this key for answer. Since then you confess that you are ignorant. Now learn. Your question demanded our deliverance on two matters that are contrary to one another. For every motion is divided into two parts, so that a certain part is moved by necessity and another by will. For every motion is divided into two parts, so that a certain part is moved by necessity and another by will. Something is moving because it has to move necessarily or by necessity, and another by somebody's willpower. That's how you got motion. Motion is off necessity and by willpower. And those things that are moved by necessity are always in motion. Those that are moved by will, not always. For example, the sun's motion is performed by necessity to complete its appointed circuit. And every state and service of heaven depends upon necessary motions. Oh, okay, so we talking about the heavens now. We talking about the processions of the heavens, NehemiYAH. For example, the sun's motion is performed by necessity to complete his appointed circuit. And every state and service of heaven depends upon necessary motions. But man directs the voluntary motions of his own actions. Because man is self-propelled. He flexes the power of will. You know what I mean? His motion comes through will. The sun, the moon, the heavenly bodies, the atmospheric bodies come through necessity. They move off necessity. Man moves off a desire, will. All right. Now look at this. It says, but man directs the voluntary motions of his own actions. And thus there are some things that have been created for this end, that in their services they should be subject to necessity and should be unable to do aught else than what has been assigned to them. And when they have accomplished this service, the creator of all things, who thus arranged them according to his will, preserves them. But there are other things in which there is a power of will, and that have a free choice of doing what they will, such as man. All right. These, as I have said, do not remain always in that order in which they were created, but according as their will leads them. And the judgment of their mind inclines them. They affect either good or evil, and therefore he has proposed rewards to those who do well and penalties to those who do evil. Makes sense because there's no punishment or reward for the sun, moon, and stars.
No, but they just are.
They move off necessity. All right. But man, the creator, allowed man to move off the power of choice, the power of free will, the power of will. And because of that, there are either rewards or penalties based off the decisions that man makes. Makes sense, huh? Breaking it down on the whole scientific level, son.
You know, I was watching this TV show called Moonlight. It's a Marvel show.
Okay.
And it's powered by the Egyptian gods. It's where the powers, you know, the gods are still. Tefnut is in there. He's a god in there.
Hey, is it a series?
Yeah.
I just started watching it.
Yeah.
I just started watching it on, yeah. I just started watching it on whatchamacallit, yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna give you a
write it down for me, yeah.
Breaker, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna get to this one point about the sky, right? So they told Kashu not to mess with the sky again. Okay. Because like you said, the sky is, you know, by necessity, it's set in the way it needs. But they needed a constellation. You know, stars move and change and die and stuff over time, right? Kashu said, you know, he's a god over the night and the moon or whatever, right? He says, I remember every night. So he had to do like this, do like me, he had his avatar, turn back time, and all the earth is watching this. So the gods had to go right into play and put him in stone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he was told not to mess with that sky.
I'm about to finish watching it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We can talk all up here when we get done.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But no, it's just saying, like, certain things are set the way it is. It's not willpower. Yeah,
it's necessity.
Right. So man needs that, but what he was not supposed to do as a god was to travel back 2,000 years.
Oh, okay.
And sky for everybody on the planet to see, because all this reversing.
Right.
It's
universal timepiece.
Man. Okay, anyway, that was episode.
It's called, what it's called?
Moonlight.
Yeah, Moonlight. I just started watching it. That's crazy, man. It's a series.
It's episode 3.
Yeah, I just started watching it right before I came through. Like, man, that's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. Think you would like it, bro.
All right.
We be on that crazy stuff.
Nazarene, exactly. Nazarene, Acts of the Apostles, bottom of page 96, chapter 25. Who has resisted his will? You say, therefore, if Yahweh wishes anything to be, it is. And if he does not wish it, it is not. But if I were to answer that what he wishes is and what he wishes not is not, you would say that then he wishes the evil things to be that are done in the world.
He thought he had him right there. He thought he had him right there. We talking about will. Will is power. Most High is power. So if he willed it, it's him who did it. He's a slick out, boy.
He's a slick out.
Oh, slick out.
It says, since everything that he wishes is and everything that he wishes not is not. But if I had answered that it is not so, that what the Most High wishes is and what he wishes not is not, then you would retort upon me that the Creator must then be powerless if he cannot do what he wills. And you would be all the more petulant as thinking that you had got a victory, though had said nothing to the point. Like, you ain't even making no point. Therefore, you are ignorant, O Simon, yea, very ignorant, how the will of the Creator acts in each individual case. For some things, as we have said, he has so willed to be. Notice what he say, each individual case. O Simon, yea, very ignorant how the will of the Most High acts in each individual case. For some things, as we have said, he has so willed to be, that they cannot be otherwise than as they are ordained by him. And to these he has assigned neither rewards nor punishments. But those that he has willed to be so that they have it in their power to do what they will, he has assigned to them according to their actions and their wills to earn either rewards or punishments. Since, therefore, as I have informed you, all things that are moved are divided into two parts, according to the distinction that I formerly stated. Everything that Yahweh wills is, and everything that he wills not is not. Boy, Peter ain't playing. Peter, I'm telling you.
And look, You can apply that to Judgment Day, because that's what we're talking about, right? Judgment and rewards, right? Mm-hmm. You can apply that to Judgment Day. What do we cast into the lake?
Man.
Death.
Yeah.
Sin.
False prophet.
The grave.
The beast.
Why? Because he never willed for that for me.
Right.
You see where I'm going with that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why it don't carry an eternity with us. What he willed from us was in the garden, to dwell in his creation and have dominion over his creation, right? That was his will. But since man had will, he showed man he had will. Choose. Choice.
Yep, choose life.
That's action of will.
Exactly.
And with spirit or sense of spirit you dealing in, right?
All right.
So since man chose to jump off the porch against his Elohim, when he should have chose to do it with his Elohim. You feel me? Then death and all that comes into play. You catch what I'm saying? Mm. Because there was no death penalty for Adam until he took part in his free will. That makes sense? Mm. So now, at the end of this thing, those things that was created because of your actions, I'm doing away with those. Mm. Because they was never in my will.
In the first place.
Okay.
He said, okay.
Oh.
It was never in my will in the first place.
Oh, man, it intended for you to die. Man, intended you to live and joyfully, wholeheartedly serve and worship him. And I will supply all your needs. Just like you see there. I'm going to wipe all your tears away. You should dwell safely. You don't have to worry no more. You know what I'm saying? Everything is going to be right with you, as it was intended from the beginning. But because not his will, your will did this. Your will to go against his commandment got the captivity. Your will to want to be messing with meat on the altar that was offered up to other tabernacles of other gods was your will why your temples got burned down and looted. You know what I'm saying? Your will is the reason why a lot of us is in the dire straits that we're in, whether it's in prison, baby mama drama, car accidents, because we doing something we ain't supposed to be doing, trying to do whatever we will or want to do. There's no unemployment or any other thing, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say everything is, absolute. And everything definitely can change because we can change. That's what the Messiah showed us. Mm-hmm. Go and sin no more. You can come out of that. You can will that better for yourself. You see what I'm saying? But once you get yourself set up to do wickedness and you take pleasure in said wickedness, then that's usually how most of us gonna ride out. Sadly, that's how most of us gonna ride out. Because we get caught up in the whole hoopla of I want to do it my way. You catch what I'm saying? I want to do it my way. You got me messed up. You know the other words that we be using. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna move to the beat of my drum. Even now it's so out of order. You know what I'm saying? I was watching some videos earlier. The woman say she the head of the table, even if she do got a husband. Boy, I said, Lord have mercy, Lord. Lord have mercy, Lord. Now everything's in order, man. It's like the Messiah going up to his father saying, I'm the head of the table. I'm the table. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all, everything is on wheel. So did the Most High create evil? No, we brought that upon ourselves because of our willful disobedience. And once we understand that, and then understand the fact that we don't have to willfully be disobedient, we can get back to the mission that our Father had us set for from the beginning. That's it. That's it. No goodness without liberty, boy. Ooh-wee. So yeah, we're dealing with Simon and Kepha going back and forth. To this, Simon answered, was not he able to make us all such that we should be good and that we should not have it in our power to be otherwise? See, that's a trickery of words. You see, Simon is a word trickster, Mr. Magician Man. Kepha answered, this also is an absurd question, which it is, because he had gave him option. So you can't make that an absolute the way that, you know, Simon or Shimon tried to make it. This also is an absurd question. For if he had made us of an unchangeable nature and incapable of being moved away from good, we should not really be good or be really good. If he made you absolutely good like that and there's no possibility of being able to be moved away, then you wouldn't really be good. You'll be, again, robotic. You'll be operating at your core purpose. Like Microsoft Windows, what's the new one? The 10, Microsoft 10, your Apple, your phone, whatever your operating system is. It cannot operate outside of that parameter. That's where I'm going with that. It operates within that parameter. It is what it is. It is what it is. Because it's incapable of being moved away from good, right? A Microsoft system cannot jump to become an Apple operating system. Right. It's not created for that. So neither system of good or bad is moving within its function that it was made. That's what you hear the people argue about AIs about too. Right. You see what I'm saying? We should not really be good because we could not be aught else. And it would not be of our purpose that we were good. So we have to see here go to choice again. Power of the will. And that we did, and what we did would not be ours, but of necessity of our nature.
Right. It'll be just second nature to you. See, being evil. If you didn't have a choice or a power to choose, then being evil would just be part of the protocol.
And look, because you hear that about Satan. But did he make Satan evil? No, he wasn't made that way. His will took him that way.
Everyone has a choice.
Even the watchers that fail. He didn't create them evil. They will to leave their heavenly place and make the moves they make.
Everyone has a choice. Angels have willfully sinned and man has willfully sinned.
Yeah.
No, man. Raise back up, man.
But how can that be called good, which is not done of purpose? And on this account, the world required long periods until a number of spirits that were predestined to fill it.
Wow, that were what?
Predestined to fill it be complete. And then the visible sky should be folded up like a scroll. And that which is higher should appear, and the spirits of the blessed, being restored to their bodies, should be ushered into light.
Hallelujah.
But the spirits of the immoral, for their impure actions, being surrounded by fiery spirits, should be plunged into an abyss of unquenchable fire to endure punishment through eternity. You know what I mean? He was talking about that about a week or two ago. Now that these things are so, Yeshua has testified to us concerning whom, if you wish to know that he is a Nabi or prophet, I will instruct you by innumerable declarations.
Right. Those we talking about those, the reward for those who stay on that righteous path. And then what's coming for the immoral, right?
Yeah, once the number has been met, skies are folding.
Right, talking about the sky for rolling back like a scroll, boy. You talking about closest thing you can see to that is an atom bomb dropping and the cloud,
mushroom
cloud and all that. Yeah. Nah, we it. Oh, okay.
For those things that were spoken by him, even now everything that he said is being fulfilled. And those things that he spoke with respect to the future are believed to be about be fulfilled.
About to be fulfilled. Go ahead.
For faith is given to the future from those things that have already come to pass.
That's hard. He's saying faith is paid forward. Yeah, it's given to the future. Like, look, what he said before and came to pass.
That's good credit.
Yeah, but pay it forward.
That's good credit.
Yeah, credit that.
Credit.
Boy, private exemption, huh?
Private bank.
private exemption.
Well, it's commerce going on here.
Set off.
Flesh me. I'm in control of the charmander.
UCC 1.
308.4.
Oh, man.
I ain't messing with you. I ain't messing with you.
Well, don't get me started. I bet Marcus probably clown on it. Hold on, man.
I know Marcus like, I know what them brothers over there talking about.
All right, man. All right, we got Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, bottom of page 97, chapter 27, the visible sky. Why made? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. So it's commerce, nigga.
I tell you, your soul is the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is paid for.
That was cold. All right, the visible sky, why made? But Simon, perceiving that Kepha was clearly assigning a reason from the head of prophecy, from which the whole question is settled, declined that the discourse should take this turn, and thus answered, give me an answer to the questions that I put and tell me if that visible sky is, as you say, to be dissolved. Why was it made at first? Kepha answered, it was made for the sake of this present life of men, that there might be some sort of interposition and separation, lest any unworthy one might see the habitation of the celestials and the abode of the Creator, which are prepared in order to be seen by those only who are of a pure heart. Ooh, wait. Saying the visible sky is a barrier, y'all. Because if we really saw, it's like a veil. It's a barrier or a veil, like the veil was ripped. YHWH'S, YAH'KI, you know, gave up the ghost, like we say around here. You know, the veil in the temple ripped. The veil is a barrier blocking, you know, the average Israelite or the average priest from even seeing the Holy of Holies, which housed the Ark of the Covenant, right? But what Peter just bagged down Simon the magician. Like, look, don't you know, basically the visible sky is a barrier, it's a veil. And if that wasn't there, you will be able to see the habitation of the celestials, the angels. Oh, we vibrating at a faster frequency than visible light, if you want to put the science on it. That's all that's going into it. But notice, he's saying the visible sky is a veil, it's a barrier. And had that not been there, you dig, you'll be able to see, you know, the abode of the celestials. And to see, you know, some of these so-called quote unquote angels in their pure form, like it tells you in some of the Psalms that they're made out of pure fire. They have bodies made out of pure fire. That's one of their manifestations. To see raw, naked fire, celestial fire, that is. And this, you know, filthy flesh of ours, man, come on, man, stop it. You'll melt on sight. That's why they be having to manifest and appear as men. Now, why the scriptures tell you what? Be careful to entertain strangers. Because you may be dealing with an angel. Angels, or to become visible to man or to mortals, or even the animals, cannot appear in their angelic celestial form of pure celestial fire that they have in the heavens. They have to appear as men. For your sake, for our sake, because we'll melt. Basically, in so many words. That's why they always appear as men. And look, even when they appear as men, they be glorious. But can you imagine the manifestation of pure celestial fire? And that's the angel's body, who makes his ministers a flame of fire. All right? Sent forth to be, you know, to help those who shall be heirs of salvation with them. Now look at this. Kepha answered, it was made for the sake of this present life of men that there might be some sort of interposition and separation, lest any unworthy one might see the habitation of the celestials and the abode of the Creator himself, which are prepared in order to be seen by those only who are of a pure heart, only those of a pure mind, sincere in mindset. All right. But now, hold on. But now that is the time of the conflict. It has pleased him that those things be invisible, which are destined as a reward to the conquerors. So he said, please the Creator that these things be invisible, that these things vibrate faster than the speed of light, visible light. All right. That's the realm of invisibility. That's how they can go in and check for paranormal activity. It's called nanometers. Nanometers. They come in and measure nanometers, visible light. All right. If it's within a certain range of nanometers for visible light, you can see that the angel can manifest. If it's outside of visible light, if it's vibrating at a frequency outside of a certain nanometers outside of visible light, you won't be able to see it. All right. That is, in the time of the conflict, it has pleased him that those things be invisible, which are destined as a reward to the conquerors. Then Simon said, if the Creator is good and the world is good, how will he who is good ever destroy that which is good? This is what the naysayer may ask you. He may ask you that. Then Simon said, if the Creator is good and the world is good, how will he who is good ever destroy that which is good? But if he will destroy that which is good, how will he himself be thought to be good? But if he will dissolve and destroy it as evil, how will he not appear to be evil? He who has made that which is evil. This is what the atheists, this is what the naysayers say. Try to put you in a box. And if the Most High is good and the world is good, how will he then, the Most High, ever destroy which is good? See, this is the argument of the opposition. This is the argument of those who oppose the divine nature of the Creator. You know, if he good, is he good or is he evil? Is he both? You know, but look, this is what Peter said. This is what Simon was saying. If the Creator is good and the world is good, how will he who is good ever destroy that which is good? Question. But if he will destroy that which is good, how will he himself be thought to be good? Like if he destroyed that which is good, how can he be thought of as good? But if he will dissolve and destroy it as evil, dissolve the world as evil, how will he not appear to be evil? He who has made that which is evil. Why to be dissolved? That's how Peter responds. All right. Peter responds. To this case I replied, since we have promised not to run away from your blasphemies, we endure them patiently. For you will yourself render an account for the things that you speak. Listen now, therefore, if indeed that heaven that is visible and transient had been made for its own sake, there would have been some reason in what you say that it ought not to be dissolved. But if it was made not for its own sake, but for the sake of something else, it must of necessity be dissolved. He's like, look, it wasn't made. The heavens weren't made for their own sake. Now you have a point if they were, but they weren't. But if it was made not for its own sake, but for the sake of something else, it must of necessity be dissolved, that for which it seems to have been made may appear. As I might say by way of illustration, however thoroughly and carefully the shell of the egg may seem to have been formed, it is yet necessary that it be broken and open. Y'all hear that? Wow. Wow. That's great. This is, as I might say by way of illustration, I'm going to paint your mind with something. However thoroughly and carefully the shell of the egg may seem to have been formed, it is yet necessary that it be broken and open, that the chick may issue from it, and that may appear for which the form of the whole egg seems to have been molded. So also, therefore, it is necessary that the condition of this world pass away, that more joyous condition of the heavenly kingdom may shine forth. Saying it's a necessity, y'all. And he made that cold analogy about the egg. No matter how carefully the egg itself was formed, eventually it must be broken. I mean, hell, the baker cake, you got to crack eggs, don't you? But eventually, the very egg that was formed so carefully and with such super precision has to break so the chick can come out. All right. For the continuation of life, the egg must break, even though it was designed carefully and with super precision. And he compared that to how carefully the Creator designed the heavens with super precision. See that? Y'all get some understanding so far? Give me a 3 up in the chat. Ain't trying to lose nobody. Bless up. That's right. After you lose your cookies if you saw the heavenly host in raw form. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody know that, though. Everybody know that. Yeah, that was cold. How you used the egg. The egg, even though it was carefully formed and with super precision, it was made. It was made to be broken. You know, it served its purpose. It served its purpose. Chapter 29, Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. Chapter 29, Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. I advise all the brothers and sisters, if you don't have this, get it. And study Peter's wars with Simon Magus, Simon the magician. Study them deals. Very, very detailed. Very, very thorough when it comes down to, like, you know, defending the testimony of Messiah, you know, living after the ways of Yahshua the Nazarene. Very thorough. Messiah trained up his disciples, the real apostles. It makes sense. After all, these men got the spirit of the Creator blew on them by the Messiah after his resurrection, and then got the fiery tongues put on them. Why wouldn't the immediate disciples who became apostles, why wouldn't they be a problem out here? So when I finally read this last year, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Peter would be that dude. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be that dude? You feel me? He's dealing with a level of intelligence that is smashing. And Simon had what's called the standing man doctrine. He had everybody thinking and believing he was the Mashiach, the Messiah. And Peter, a real disciple and apostle of the true Messiah, came through empowered by the spirit of the Creator and confounded dude. That dude was running. He'll go to a whole nother city, catch a boat somewhere else, run his mouth about Peter and all that, and Peter comes show face where he at again. And then he go down in public square right in front of everybody. So if you haven't read the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, I highly advise that and that Clementine homilies. Basically, it's the same reading. It's just a little more. It's more added, you know, lost writings of Peter or whatever. But for the most part, it's really the same. All right. But I would advise you to get the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles and read it and understand it. You know what I mean? I mean, some of the names of the chapters, like, man, he getting it in. Like they studying cosmogony, which is the study of creation. All right, look right here. One of the name of the titles is Goyim, or Gentile cosmogony, Gentile creation, family of Saturn, existence of evil on astrological principles, test of astrology. No man has universal knowledge, good and evil. Peter's authority. Some of the stuff is in here, man. I was like, dang, astrological law and perfect conviction. Districts of heaven. Oh man, types and forms. Things apparently useless and vile made by Elohim, orderly and disorderly. Motions of the sun and moon. Sun and moon both minister good and evil. Chastisements on the righteous and the immoral. Chastisement for sins. The flood, evils brought in by sin, no rose without its thorns. Everything has its corresponding contrary. Ignorance of philosophers. The prophet of truth, Yahshua, sitting in judgment upon the Creator. Plants and animals, germination of seeds, power of water, the human body, symmetry of the body, breath and blood, the intestines, generation. Like all this is like I'm telling y'all, Peter was that dude. Like look at this. Doctrine of atoms unattainable. The concourse of atoms could not make the world. More difficulties of the atomic theory. Plato's testimony. Mechanical theory. Motions of the stars. I'm talking about the rainbow. Paganism is enormities. If obedience to the Creator calls to sobriety and modesty. Who are the worshipers of the Creator? Like I'm talking about, this whole thing is off the chain. You feel me? So I would highly suggest for any brother or sister that's listening, that's new, that has not got the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, get on Amazon and get that deal. And run through that table of contents. It'll blow your mind. Like, dang, look at all this. All right, don't forget the index either. There's a lot back there too. All right, chapter 29, corruptible things made by the incorruptible. Then Simon, it does not seem to me that the heaven which has been made by God can be dissolved. For things made by the eternal one are ageless, while things made by a corruptible one are temporary and decaying. Then Kepha, it is not so. Indeed, corruptible and temporary things of all sorts are made by mortal creatures. But the eternal does not always make things corruptible or always incorruptible. But according to the will of the Creator, so will be the things that he creates. For the power of the Most High is not subject to instruction, but his will is Torah to his creatures. His will is instruction to his creatures. Then Simon answered, I'll call you back to the first question. You said now that the Creator is visible to no one, but when that heaven will be dissolved and that superior condition of the heavenly kingdom will shine forth, then those who are pure in heart will see the Creator, which statement is contrary to Torah. For there it is written that Yahweh said, none will see my face and live. All right, so let's get it. Look at the atheist firing back. He, like you said, that only the pure in heart gonna see him, but it says right here in the Torah that none can see him and live. So how you gonna stand on that, Peter? We. So Peter answers, how the pure in heart see the Creator. Then Kepha answered, to those who do not read Torah. Then Peter answered, to those who do not read Torah according to the tradition of Moshe, my speech appears to be contrary to it. But I will show you how it is not contradictory. Yahweh is seen by the mind, not by the body. Hold on. All right. By Ruach or spirit, not by the flesh. Whence also angels who are spirits see the Creator, and therefore men, as long as they are men, cannot see him. But after the resurrection of the dead, when they will have been made like the angels, they will be able to see the Most High. And thus my statement is not contrary to Torah. Neither is that which our master said, blessed are they of a pure heart, for they will see the Most High. For he showed that a time will come in which some men will be made angels. Do y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Some men will be made Malakim, which are angels. Hold on. Angels manifest. They manifest as men. Men can become angels. For he showed that a time will come in which some men will be made Malakim, angels, who in the spirit of their mind will see the Creator. After these and many similar sayings, Shimon began to assert with many oaths, saying, concerning one thing only render me a reason, whether the spirit is immortal, and I will submit to your will in all things. But let it be tomorrow, for the day it is late. When therefore Kepha began to speak, Shimon went out, and with him a very few of his associates, and that for shame. Taking head counts, baby. They left taking head counts. For shame. Peter put him to open shame. Y'all see that? When therefore Kepha began to speak, Shimon went out, and with him a very few of his associates, and therefore shame. But all the rest turned to Kepha on bended knees, prostrated themselves before him. And some of those who were afflicted with diverse sicknesses or invaded by demons were healed by the prayer of Kepha. That's right. And departed rejoicing as having obtained at once the halakha of the true Creator. Halak means the walk or the way of the true Creator. Walk or way, halakha. The way of the true Creator, and also his mercy. When therefore the crowds have withdrawn and only we, his attendants, remained with him, we sat down on couches placed on the ground, each one recognizing his accustomed place, and having taken food and giving thanks to the Most High, we went to sleep. Ooh, wait. It's going down in this mug. What? It's not a game. Not a game. Okay, we got diligent study. Okay, let me get on over here. A couple more of these. Just real quick. All right, page 100. Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. We're going to go jump down to chapter 33. Learners and frivolous objectors. Learners and frivolous objectors. Y'all get some understanding up in the chat. Get some understanding up in the chat. Give me a Yahoo. Bless up. Bless up. All praises. Bless up. All praises to the Most High. All praises. Let me see what else we got. Yeah, I'll see what we're going to read. We're going to read over to page 102. We're going to read over to there. All praise, glory, and honor. We all good. We got the Yahoos up in the chat. Bless up. All praise you. Learners and frivolous objectors. Nazarene edition, part 73. All praises. All praises. Learners and frivolous objectors. But when the day began to be light after prayer, he went out to the crowds and stood in his accustomed place for the discussion. And seeing Shimon standing in the middle of the crowd, he saluted the people in his usual way and said to them, I confess that I am grieved with respect to some men who come to us in this way, that they may learn something. But when we begin to teach them, they profess that they themselves are masters. And while indeed they ask questions as ignorant persons, they contradict as knowing trees. But maybe someone will say that he who puts a question puts it indeed in order that he may learn. But when that which he hears does not seem to him to be right, it is necessary that he should answer. And that seems to be contradiction. That is not contradiction, but further inquiry. So he like, you know, everybody that comes to you asking a question is not coming to get edified. Some people are coming to argue with you. And so through the spirit of the Most High, Peter has discerned this. And he's specifically talking about Simon Magus, or Simon the magician, Simon the sorcerer. That's what he's talking about. Like, look, you're not asking questions in sincerity, striving to be edified. You asking to argue. You asking because you got contention. That's why you asking. All right. Chapter 34, against orders, against reason. Let such a one then hear this. The teaching of all doctrine has a certain order. And there are some things that must be delivered first, others in the second place, and others in the third. And so all in their order. And if these things be delivered in their order, they become plain. But if they be brought forward out of order, they will seem to be spoken against reason, and therefore order is to be observed above all things. Straight up. Straight up. If we seek for the purpose of finding what we seek, for he who enters rightly upon the road will observe the second place in due order. And from the second will more easily find the third, and the further he proceeds, so much the more will the way of knowledge become open to him, even until he arrive at the city of truth, whither he is bound, and that he desires to reach. But he who is unskillful and knows not the way of inquiry, as a traveler in a foreign country, ignorant and wondering, if he will not employ a native of the country as a guide, undoubtedly, when he has strayed from the way of truth, will remain outside the gates of life. And so involved in the darkness of black night, will walk through the paths of perdition. Good night. Inasmuch therefore as if those things that ought to be sought in an orderly manner, they can most easily be found. But the unskillful man is ignorant of the order of inquiry. It is right that the ignorant man should yield to the knowing one, and first learn the order of inquiry, that so at length he may find the method of asking and answering. You understand? So even when it came down to asking and answering questions and all that, Peter had a supreme spiritual discernment. Because people could be at war, but here you go, just gullible as ever. Shalom, 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 sis. Hey, shalom, right? And don't even know somebody's committing warfare against you. You understand? So you got to watch that. Use your discretion. Use that. You know when something ain't feeling right. Something's off. Something's off around here. It ain't feeling right. All right. Look at that. See, even the knowledge and the skill of how to use spiritual discernment to even defeat your opponent, the Messiah taught. The Messiah taught the disciples. Discretion in order to save souls. Chapter 35. Learning before teaching. Absolutely. Learning before teaching. To this Simon replied, then truth is not the property of all, but of those only who know the art of disputation, which is absurd. For it cannot be, since he is equally the God of all, that all should not be equally able to know his will. Then Kepha, who is Peter, all were made equal by him, and to all he has given equally to be receptive of truth. But that none of those who are born with education, but education is subsequent to birth. No one can doubt. Since therefore the birth of men holds equity in this respect, that all are equally capable of receiving discipline. The difference is not in nature, but in education. Wow. Using terms like equity and man. Wow. I'm going to read that again. Then Kepha, all were made equal by him, and to all he has given equally to be receptive of truth. Exactly. Everybody has the ability to receive truth. But that none of those who are born with education, right? You have to be taught and reared up and raised, right? You're not born fully educated. But education is subsequent to birth. It is. No one can doubt. Education is subsequent to birth. It is. Nobody can doubt that. Because in order for you to educate anyone or anything, they first must go through a birthing process. Since therefore the birth of men holds equity, in this respect, it does. What respect? That all are equally capable of receiving discipline. So yes, the birth of men does hold equity. Why? Because all are equally capable of receiving discipline. The difference is not in nature, but in education. Who does not know that the things which anyone learns, he was ignorant of before he learned them? Right. Before you knew that, you was ignorant of it. Then Simon said, you say truly. Then Kepha said, if then in those arts, hold on, is he admitting what Peter's saying is true? Then Simon said, you say truly. Then Kepha said, if then in those arts there are in common use, one first learns and then teaches. How much more ought those who profess to be the educators of spirits first to learn and so to teach, that they may not expose themselves to ridicule? Flat out. How you practitioners of spirit teaching spiritual things but ain't learned it first? How does that work? How does that work? You got to crawl before you walk, right? Right. Now look at this. I'm gonna read that again. Then Kava said, if then in those arts there are in common use, one first learns and then teaches, how much more ought those who profess to be the educators of spirits first to learn and so to teach, that they may not expose themselves to ridicule if they promise to afford knowledge to others when they themselves are unskillful? Then Simon, this is true in respect of those arts that are in common use, but in the word of knowledge, as soon as anyone has heard, he has learned, really. So all you gotta do is hear something and you know it, you learn it, right? That's how Simon coming off. Self-evidence of the truth. We got one more page, y'all, and we gonna close on the bodies. All praises. Overstand, Ananel, overstand. Then said Kepha, who was Peter, if indeed one heard in an orderly and regular manner, he is able to know what is true. But he who refuses to submit to the rule of a reformed life and a pure behavior, which truly is the proper result of knowledge of the truth, will not confess that he knows what he does know. For this is exactly what we see in the case of some who, abandoning the trades that they learned in their youth, betake themselves to other performances, and by way of excusing their own sloth, begin to find fault with the trade as unprofitable. And Simon ought all who heard to believe that whatever they hear is true. And Kepha, who is Peter, whoever hears an orderly statement of the truth cannot by any means gainsay it, but knows that what is spoken is true, provided he also willingly submit to the rules of life. But those who, when they hear, are unwilling to betake themselves to good works, are prevented by the desire of doing evil from acquiescing in those things that they judge to be right. Acquiescing, huh? Meaning to go silent. Are prevented by the desire of doing evil from acquiescing in those things that they judge to be right. So you do evil and you stop doing or go quiet on what it is to be right. Hence, it is manifest that it is in the power of the hearers to choose which of the two they prefer. But if all who heard were to obey, it would be rather a necessity of nature, leading all in one way. Whereas no one can be persuaded to become shorter or taller, because the force of nature does not permit it. So also, if either all were converted to the truth by a word or all were not converted, it would be the force of nature that compelled all in the one case and none at all in the other to be converted. The creator of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, righteous as well as good. The creator Yahweh, righteous as well as good. Then said Simon, inform us therefore what he who desires to know the truth must first learn. Make sure y'all listening. We all make our boast we in the truth, right? Then Kepha, who is Peter, before all things, it must be inquired what it is possible for man to find out. For of necessity, the judgment of the Creator turns upon this. If a man was able to do good and did it not, and therefore men must inquire whether they have it in their power by seeking to find what is good and to do it when they have found it. For this is that for which they are to be judged. But more than this, there is no occasion for anyone but a Navi, a prophet, to know. For what is the need for men to know how the world was made? Exactly. For what is the need for men to know how the world was made? This indeed would be necessary to be learned if we had to enter upon a similar construction. But now it is sufficient for us in order to worship in order to the worship of the Creator, to know that he made the world. But how he made it is no subject of inquiry for us. Because as I have said, it is not incumbent upon us to acquire the knowledge of the art as though we were about to make something similar. We ain't finna make no way. We not about to make any corporeal worlds or nothing like that. But neither are we to be judged for this. Why we have not learned how the world was made. But only for that, if we be without knowledge of its creator, we'll be judged if we don't have knowledge of who created the world.
Who created? Because you won't respect it.
Right. Right. For we will know that the creator of the world is the righteous and good Yahweh, Yahweh, if we seek him in the paths of righteousness. For if we only know regarding him that he is good, such knowledge is not sufficient for salvation. I'm going to read it again. For if we only know regarding him that he is good, such knowledge is not sufficient for salvation. For in the present life, not only the worthy, but also the unworthy enjoy his goodness and his benefits. Right. But if we believe him to be not only good, but also righteous. See that? We ain't just calling the Most High good. He's good and righteous. All right. Here we go right here. It says, but if we believe him to be not only good, but also righteous, and if according to what we believe concerning Yahweh, we observe righteousness in the whole course of our life, we will enjoy his goodness forever. In a word, to the Hebrews, whose opinion concerning the Creator was that he is only good, our master said, Yahshua the Messiah, our master said that they should seek also his righteousness. That is, that they should know that he is good indeed in this present time, that all may live in his goodness, but that he will be righteous at the day of judgment, to bestow ageless rewards upon the worthy, from which the unworthy will be excluded.
What did you talk about 2 weeks ago?
And then it goes into the day of judgment, and then more, you know what I mean? But all praise and glory now to the Most High. Forever live his anointed beloved Son in the hearts and minds of the faithful elect. Bless up. All praises, all glory, all honor. NehemiYAH, big homie, talk to us. Over eating some of that unleavened bread, huh?
Yeah, boy, I put in an order for some matzo pizza ingredients to make it back to the house.
You hear me? Get her done. All praises, glory now to the Most High. Remeditate, bang, bang, bang. Talk to me. Give us some lasting words or something. You might talk to it.
Man, look, even an evil person in that day going through that travail, be like, good Lord, sweet Jesus, my God, oh my God. That's what boy be doing. But the whole thing is you have to go above him knowing he be good, because everybody at some point know he's good. You know, even a wicked person singing church, you know what I'm saying, who's doing all the wickedness of the sinner. God is a good God. Yes, he is. You know. But you have to also understand his righteousness and act accordingly to his will and his righteousness. Because his will is power. You know, he ain't put you on automatic mode. Mm-hmm. He put you on
willpower. Mm-hmm. I already know. The
trying to grade you on. So you tell how much helium is in the sun and how many gases is on the periodic table. He ain't judging you on that. What can you do with that knowledge of weighing the fire? Here go the funny part. If the sun is all this light and it fills up our galaxy, then why space is dark? You tripping off the lesser lights.
Red fish, blue fish.
Green fish. You're tripping off the wrong thing, man. And his righteousness does detail his covenants. And he did not intend for man to be chewing on his creation. I'm sorry, it's part of his righteousness too, that all should live. Mm-hmm. Even in the end game, the predator lays down with the prey. all should live. Death is off the table because that was never supposed to be on the table.
No way.
So focus on this righteousness, y'all. And think of it from the manner of our master teacher. It was not so in the beginning. That should be your first clue. Get back to that.
It was
in
not
the beginning,
so.
didn't include Levi.
The way he cried, Leviticus. All right, bang. Then we all good. What's up with you, YAH'KI? You got your Psalm or something for us or something? All praise. Still chewing on unleavened bread.
We both are.
Still chewing.
Now he got some sauce over there. He ain't sharing though.
Ain't that much love, bro.
Are you ready to accuse? He ain't performing righteousness with his brother.
Ain't nothing in there.
I see something at the bottom. I see some righteousness down there, bro. I see a clove of grapes and 2 loaves of bread in there, bro.
Bro, say Black Mac. Boy, I love that name. Black Mac 1978 said you eating that like it's fire here. Gotta get the right sauce. You sauce. I you the sauce is. The sauce, the sauce is what makes the thing, the flavor, the sauce is.
Why you get that voice started?
New Mullions. Look at Keela over there cooking chicken, going off. I'm just cooking some chicken. No, let's say Mickin, whatever that is.
Chicken alternative, mushroom chicken. Mushroom chicken problem.
And the sauce here. That did look pretty good though. Oh, Mickin. Oh, okay, my bad. My bad, player. You know, hey, I ain't the one to judge you, baby. You know what I mean? Nah, praise him. NehemiYAH, bro, give us a psalm or something, man. All praise to the Most High.
112.
We definitely want to bring all the sick and afflicted, you know, into the presence of the Almighty. Understand that we cancel war with peace, we cancel plagues with healing, we cancel hatred with love, we cancel poverty with abundance. All right, live and love life. That's what time it is around here. All praises to the Most High. So every so-called unclean spirit and so-called sickness, we true believers touch and agree to see them eradicated, destroyed. You understand that we may continue to grow and assist our brothers and sisters in their spiritual resurrection. We just here to assist. We ain't here to dictate nothing. But we do stand in the gaps for our brothers and sisters and offer up prayers on the regular. Through our personal prayers and meditations down to, you know, when they ain't so personal, when it's in a group or whatever it may be. But we come in the spirit of the Almighty Creator, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Yahweh. We bind up every unclean spirit, sickness, and disease. We break the back and crack the skull of you unclean jokers. And we order you back to the pits of darkness where you belong. Loose yourself from above the people, from above the heritage, from above the flock of the Heavenly Father. In the power, name, and authority of the Creator of heaven and earth. What we got, NehemiYAH?
Well, I kind of like a couple of them. 14.
Come on, let's go. Let's go till we feel something. You know how we go. Let's warm up, baby. Let's work. Let's work. All praise, glory, and honor. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up. All praise.
All right, Psalm 1 and then Psalm 14.
Hallelujah.
Both of them back to back. All right, y'all, with the Most High's permission, we'll read Psalms chapter 1 and Psalms chapter 14.
Hallelujah. All praise.
Psalms chapter 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the wicked, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth at the seat of the scornful. but his delight is in the law of YHWH'S. And in his law does he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree by the rivers of water, and bring forth his fruit in his season.
That's right.
His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The wicked are not so, but are like the shaft which the wind driveth away. Therefore, the wicked shall not stand in judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. Verse 6. For YHWH'S knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked shall perish.
Hallelujah.
Selah. Yah.
Real thing is.
Psalms 14. Second witness. For the fool has said in his heart, there is no Elohim. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. But YHWH'S looketh down from heaven upon the children of men, to see if there were any that did understand and seek the Most High. They all are going aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and call not upon YHWH'S? There were they in great fear, for Elohim is in the generation of the righteous. Ye have shamed the counsel of the poor, because the Most High is his refuge. Verse 7. Oh, that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion, when YHWH'S bringeth back the captivity of his people. That's right. Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad.
Hallelujah. Selah. Yah. Real thing.
Great job session, bro.
Touch and agree, baby. All praise.
Willpower.
That's right. All praises.
Willpower is real.
Praises, glory, and honor to the Most High. Right on for y'all prayers and support. Y'all already know that. I don't know. It probably is. I don't know. But we about to hang on back. Y'all continue to pray for us as we continue to pray for y'all, and that just ain't verbiage. You understand? That's just what it is on the regular. You understand? Some of us are in the gaps on the regular. You feel me? Spiritually banging with the adversary's evil forces. It is what it is. So look, we love all y'all indeed and in truth. Shout out to all the haters, jawjackers, and naysayers. We love y'all too. That ain't just verbiage either. You actually commanded to love you stiff-necked, rebellious Negroes. And so we're commanded to love you, so we must love you. You understand? And send forth peace and love into your mind, heart, and spirit and body. You understand? And may one day you get yourself together through repentance. All praises, all glory, all honor. Good to see y'all in the building. NehemiYAH, anything last words you want to say, brother?
Bless up.
Bless up. All right, y'all. We about here. Until the next time. Yah.
Yahoo.
Yes, sir.